A fly can land on your food, eat, mate, lay eggs, and help create the next generation before you even notice how much biology is happening. To us, it looks like a tiny, annoying insect. To evolution, it is a compact survival machine built for speed, reproduction, and exploiting almost any suitable food source. And the strangest part is not how dirty flies can be. It is how quickly one small egg can become an adult, equipped with powerful eyes, chemical sensors, wings, and an extremely efficient reproductive system. So what exactly happens inside the life of a fly, from egg to adult? Let's use the common housefly as our main example. Its scientific name is Musca domestica. You have probably seen one circling a kitchen, garbage bin, animal waste, or outdoor food. The adult fly is only a few millimeters long, yet almost every part of its body is specialized. Like other insects, a fly has three major body regions: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. Simple enough, but the engineering inside those three sections gets impressive very quickly. Start with the head. A housefly has two enormous compound eyes. Each eye contains thousands of tiny visual units called ommatidia. They do not work exactly like thousands of miniature cameras. Instead, together they create a broad view of the surrounding world. This helps explain something irritatingly familiar. You slowly move your hand toward a fly. It disappears before your slap arrives. Flies are extremely sensitive to movement. Their visual system processes rapid changes very effectively. Their wide field of view also makes sneaking up on them difficult. Your carefully planned attack may feel strategic. To the fly, you are basically performing in slow motion. Between those large eyes are important sensory structures, including antennae. These help the fly detect chemicals and odors. Smell matters because a fly must quickly locate food, breeding material, and suitable places for laying eggs. Then we reach the mouth. Houseflies do not have chewing jaws designed for biting chunks from your sandwich. Their mouth parts are adapted mainly for sponging up liquids. At the end of the proboscis are soft structures that help absorb fluid food. But what happens when the food is solid? The fly can release saliva and other fluids onto the surface. These fluids help dissolve suitable material. The fly can then suck up the resulting liquid. Yes, that means the dinner guest walking across your meal may also be chemically preparing its own tiny portion. Now move backward to the thorax. This is the fly's movement center. The thorax holds 3 pairs of legs, 6 legs total, as expected for an insect. These legs do much more than support the body. The feet contain sensory receptors that can detect chemicals. In simple terms, flies can partly taste surfaces with their feet. Landing is not just transportation, it is also investigation. A fly touches down, samples its environment, and rapidly decides whether that surface deserves more attention. That explains the constant walking. The fly is not necessarily confused. It may be collecting information. The thorax also powers the wings. True flies belong to the order Diptera, a name referring to 2 wings. Unlike many insects with 2 functional pairs, flies use 1 main pair for flight. The second pair has been transformed into structures called halteres. Halteres look like tiny knobs. They act as sophisticated motion sensors. During flight, they vibrate and help detect body rotation. That information allows rapid corrections in the air. Think of them as part of a biological stabilization system. This is one reason flies can accelerate, turn, land upside down, and perform aerial maneuvers that make your rolled-up newspaper look technologically outdated. Behind the thorax sits the abdomen. This region contains major parts of the digestive, respiratory, excretory, and reproductive systems. Insects do not breathe using lungs like humans. Air moves through openings called spiracles and travels through a network of internal tubes called tracheae. Oxygen can be delivered directly through this system to tissues. And now we arrive at the part that makes fly populations explode so quickly: reproduction. Adult houseflies usually begin reproducing shortly after reaching maturity. The male transfers sperm to the female during mating. A female can store sperm and use it to fertilize multiple batches of eggs. She then searches for suitable material where her offspring can feed immediately after hatching. This is critical. Fly larvae cannot open a refrigerator or search a neighborhood. Their mother must place the eggs close to usable resources. Houseflies often choose decaying organic material, animal manure, garbage, and other moist, nutrient-rich environments. The eggs are small, pale, and easy to overlook. Under warm, favorable conditions, they can hatch remarkably quickly, sometimes within about a day. And what emerges looks almost nothing like the adult. The larva is what we usually call a maggot. No wings, no giant compound eyes, no recognizable adult fly shape. This is complete metamorphosis. The larva's main job is brutally simple: eat. It moves through suitable decomposing material and consumes nutrients needed for growth. As it grows, it passes through several larval stages called instars. The animal gets larger, but it is still operating under the same basic strategy. Food now, wings later. This stage is one reason flies are strongly associated with decay. The larvae are adapted to environments rich in decomposing organic material. From a human perspective, that can look disgusting. Ecologically, however, decomposition is essential. Nutrients locked inside dead material have to return to the environment somehow. Flies participate in that recycling process. After feeding and growing enough, the larva reaches another dramatic transition. It leaves the feeding stage and forms a puparium. Inside this protective casing, its body undergoes radical reconstruction. The larval form is reorganized into an adult. Legs develop, wings develop, adult sensory structures form. The entire lifestyle changes. Then the adult fly emerges. At first, its body and wings still need time to fully harden and expand. Soon it becomes the familiar flying insect you recognize instantly. Now the cycle can begin again. Egg, larva, pupa, adult. Under favorable warm conditions, the journey from egg to adult can happen in roughly 1 to several weeks, with temperature, nutrition, humidity, and other environmental factors affecting the timing. That speed matters. One female can lay many eggs across multiple batches during her lifetime. Not every egg survives. Many larvae die. Adults are eaten, trapped, poisoned, or killed by environmental conditions. But flies do not need every offspring to succeed. Their strategy depends heavily on producing enough offspring that some survive. And suddenly, the annoying insect near your trash bin makes more biological sense. Its fast development is not random. Its reproductive output is not random. Its sensory systems are not random. Its entire body reflects one central challenge: find resources quickly, avoid danger, reproduce efficiently, and move on. There is another reason understanding this life cycle matters. If you want fewer flies, killing adults is only part of the solution. An adult buzzing around your kitchen is the visible stage. Eggs and larvae may be developing somewhere else. Removing accessible garbage, cleaning decomposing organic material, managing animal waste, covering food, and reducing suitable breeding sites can interrupt the cycle before new adults appear. That is much more effective than treating every fly like an individual airborne villain. The real opponent is the life cycle. And that may be the most interesting thing about flies. They seem simple because they are small. They seem primitive because we see them around waste. But their biology is highly specialized. Compound eyes track motion. Antennae detect chemicals. Feet sample surfaces. Mouthparts process liquid food. Halteres stabilize flight. Larvae specialize in growth. Pupae rebuild the body. Adults specialize in movement and reproduction. One animal effectively lives several completely different lives inside a single generation. So the next time a fly lands nearby, you still do not have to welcome it to dinner. But look at it for 1 second before you chase it away. That tiny insect is carrying the final form of an extraordinary transformation. It began as an almost invisible egg, became a feeding larva, rebuilt itself inside a protective case, and emerged as one of nature's most agile little flying machines. And somewhere nearby, the next generation may already be starting the same journey.